Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? We have been talking about this for a week now, that Sean Payton was a very likely candidate to be stepping away for TV. And I'll throw another bouquet to my guy, Mike Detillier. I texted him today, and Mike came on this show every Thursday for more than a decade. And he has always said adamantly, Sean Payton is not a lifer. He's not going to be a lifer. He is a Bill Parcells disciple, and at some point he's going to step away and do TV, probably get back into coaching at some point, but it's not going to be forever. So I guess maybe psychologically I had prepared myself for this day. And as we ended the show, AFR, on Monday, we went around the room, and that was our poll question: do you think Sean Payton's with the Saints next year? And Muse and Paulie, and I don't know, 80% of all of you said yes, and I said flatly no, because I guess I just prepared myself for this. Sean Payton is 58 years old. And, I think we have plenty of time to react to the news. We have plenty of time to discuss what is next and who is next for the Saints. But just like we did with Drew Brees a year ago, we have got to take inventory. We've got to take inventory of what he has done and what his legacy will be. Y'all, you listen to this show, you know this about me. I was born in New Orleans. I grew up a Saints fan. Family went to the Dome forever. Both sets of grandparents had tickets. I spent more time in that building watching bad football than I'd ever care to admit or acknowledge. And the last 16 years have been incredible, something that I and many of you probably never thought we would ever see. Before Sean Payton, the only coach in Saints history with a winning record was Jim Mora. He was 93-74. Sean Payton won 152 games. He had a .631 winning percentage. Before Sean Payton, in 4 decades, the franchise had 1 playoff win and had been to the playoffs just 5 times. Sean Payton made 9 playoff appearances and won 9 playoff games. Buddy D famously promised to wear a dress if the Saints ever made the Super Bowl. That's how far-fetched the idea, the notion was. Because of Sean Payton, we all got to party with the Lombardi. Y'all, the Saints were nothing but a comedy of errors in their history. Ricky Williams in a wedding dress. Danny Abramowitz running into a camera. Archie Manning running for his life. Drafting Russell Erxleben, a punter, 11th overall. Look it up, kids. The Saints existed for 15 years before they drafted a player who would eventually become a Hall of Famer. That was Ricky Jackson. Alex Molden, Chris Naoli, Jonathan Sullivan. Literally, one of the worst professional sports franchises, not just in the NFL, in all professional sports, the New Orleans Saints, for 4 decades. And then Sean Payton and Drew Brees showed up. And they have been the model of consistency for 16 years. There's a lot of Saints fans today who are fearing the regression to those days, to the baghead days, the ain'ts. My contention is, though, the last 16 years have changed that culture. When Sean Payton started his press conference today and he was talking about culture, he said it so many times, and he pointed out it's not just the head coach or the players. He mentioned everything. He mentioned alignment, from ownership to the front office, to the coach, to the players. He gave analogies like right up the middle. in defense right up the middle in baseball. He talked about everything from the training staff to the nutrition staff to everything, and getting the right people, and then doing the little things. That has what has irreparably changed, irreversibly changed since Sean Payton has been here, is that culture. So, yes, there are cap issues, and yes, there are quarterback questions. But now, unlike before, the expectation is that they're going to get it right, because they've gotten it right largely for 16 years. The players that are there now expect to win. The assistant coaches there now expect to win. The GM, the president, the owner, they all expect to win. That wasn't the case for the entire history of this organization before he showed up. Sean Payton mentioned, in the last half decade, the only team that's won more games than them is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Saints have become a pillar of stability, like New England or Pittsburgh or Baltimore or Green Bay. They're in that number. The Saints are in that number. Yes, just the one Super Bowl, a lot of playoff disappointments, and we can unpack all of that, and all of that will be part of Sean Payton's legacy, however he's remembered, whatever it may be. But ultimately, he took a franchise that was one of the worst in the history of sports, one of the worst in the history of professional sports, and he turned it into a pillar of stability. We always knew this, Sean Payton leaving, was a very real possibility. We always knew this was a very real possibility, like we've talked about for some time. I am mostly, though, today, not surprised. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the 16 years that Sean Payton gave, and I'm optimistic for what is next because of this era of Saints football. I could not have said that at any other point in the history of this organization. Sean Payton. One day, he'll take his spot in the Saints Ring of Honor. I do think he will coach again. Unfortunately, it won't be for the New Orleans Saints. But whoever does coach the New Orleans Saints next is finding an organization in a completely different reality than the one Sean Payton found early in 2006. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.